a good friend of mine called me. He told me like, dude, you already have the bike. You already have the experience. Now you're running. Just start swimming and we'll do a half Ironman. And of course I was like, no, I don't want to do it. It's just too much training. But it was COVID time, so I had time. And I was like, okay, let me try it out. And that's how everything started.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the People Run Podcast. A new episode here with my good friend Ricardo. Happy and excited about this one. Ricardo is, I want to start with the biggest one. Ricardo's an Ironman, my people. He's an Ironman. He runs, he cycles very heavily out there in Miami, Florida, but also some presence in Colombia and some other countries as well. He is the founder of Lite, which we'll get into. I want to talk about that. He's doing amazing things in the community out there and expanding a brand and being the founder of that company. Welcome, Ricardo. How's your day going? How's everything?
Hey Fitz, so good morning. Thank you for the invite.
Of
I'm in
course.
Florida right now. It's hot and humid, but all good.
It's all good. Oh, that's awesome, man. What you been up to lately?
So a lot of things, a lot of changes in my life recently. But lately training. I have an event in September. I have a half Ironman in Mexico, so
Okay.
training a lot, riding, swimming, running. I had a run today, so it was very good. And then a lot of changes on the personal side as well. We will talk about the company later, but good. I mean, good things.
That's dope to hear, man. So how's training going, man? Getting back into the rhythm. For those listening, man, every now and then I feel like we talk to Ricardo in our team group chat here. And at least once a
Yeah,
year, he's got an Ironman or a half Ironman. The man doesn't stop.
yeah. So just to clarify, I do have Ironmans. I
Okay.
don't do full yet.
Okay.
Every time I complete one, I get excited, but then I'm like, no, it's just too much for me right now. And also the training part. The training part is the hard part. It takes too much, and it's commitment. So right now,
Yeah.
just have Ironman. Training is good. I started early this year, and the reason why is I've been injured. So I had a sciatic nerve issue last year, so I wasn't able to complete the event last year. So this year I started early, no rush, no paying attention to numbers or power output, just being out there, training, have fun. And then right now it's you can say maybe halfway through the training, so it's been good. Um, Every time I start training, of course, you start with I want a PR, but this time I'm taking it slow. Like this time I'm actually enjoying the training.
Yeah.
So be present during the training, look around and have fun. I think it's all about that. I mean, you can look at numbers and you can look about, hey, I want a PR, but right now I'm just enjoying training and having fun.
Yeah, man. That's a lesson I'm learning myself coming back from my injury. And it's sometimes it gets misconstrued like people are just taking a cop out or this and a third. But if you look at all the top runners, cyclists, triathletes, like they tend to have fun first, and it's all about the steps, the discipline, like the in and days out, which is more important than say the metrics at times. Not that
Yeah.
they're unimportant. Sometimes you got to focus on them, but running, looking at the views you're seeing. You're out there in beautiful Florida, man. You got to enjoy those views when you're out there riding for 2 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that started happening to me is just training and paying attention to the numbers and the heart rate and the watts and not being really present that, hey, you're outside, you're healthy. And that happened to me because last year I was injured. So it's
Yeah.
like, man, I wish I was outside, not even training hard, it's just being with my friends, go for a run. So I think that changed my mentality a bit. It's just enjoy the training because I mean, when you sign up for a race, you always think about the race, right? The race day and you crossing the line and look at your numbers. Now I'm looking at the training like, yeah, well, it sucks sometimes, but you have to enjoy the ride, and that's how I'm approaching this event. And if I do PR, that's amazing. If I don't, I mean, I pushed all the training that I had in mind. I put in the work, and then numbers will show later, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. How the injury come about? Do you think it was just riding or it's something you've dealt with before?
No, it was a mistake that many people told me about, and then I was like making up excuses. I never did strength training. Nothing,
No way. I thought you
nothing at
strength
all.
trained this whole time.
No, but like before, like the races before, it was just,
Got it.
and it was an excuse. Like, I don't have time. I have to run for 2 hours, and then tomorrow I have a ride for 3 hours. I don't have time to go to the gym. And that happened. And I mean, I went to a chiropractor, and she told me like, you don't have any muscle. It's just
Damn.
you ate the muscle. So it was a hard way to learn that you need to be a complete, let's call it athlete, right? But you need to put in the time at the gym as well as outside.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're out there cycling, swimming, all this. Like it's hard to keep muscle as is, and if you're not training any, that's got to be tough.
Exactly. So that's what happened to me, and I was out for, let's say, 6 months. But then I didn't have time to train. So I took the time to just start slowly running 2 miles, 3 miles, going for a 20-mile ride. And that's when I started like enjoying the views,
Yeah,
and enjoy ride with friends, so stuff like that. So
that's dope. Who are you cycling with these days? Like I've seen a lot of your stuff. You cycle with crews and whatnot, and you got trips now going on.
yeah, yes.
uh,
So it's a good question. I started cycling, let's say 10 years ago.
mhm.
And then it was four of us, four high school friends, that started at the same time, and we are still the same four guys that
That's
go every
amazing.
time I go to South Florida. I call them like, "Hey, any ride?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah, let's meet up." So it's still the same four guys after 10 years, and I think we're all on the same level on cycling, so that's good. And sometimes I go in big group rides, but I like to like small groups, sometimes by myself, so that's the way I'm riding right now.
Gotcha. No, that's amazing, dude. Cycling for 10 years, man. I can only imagine the stuff you guys have seen, the between
The
friendships,
scenery.
shared meals,
Yeah.
coffee,
Everything, man. And
or cafecito.
not to jump to another topic, but that's how the idea of my company started, is while writing and talking to friends and talking to people. And
Yeah.
that's the best research and feedback that you get, is people that use those cycling products. So it's been, I've been to small towns that it's amazing. Sceneries that are amazing. So that's the thing that cycling gives you, is you will reach places that if not for cycling, you'll never be there.
Yeah, agreed, man. I feel the same way about running, and even when I have cycled a little bit more, which at some point I'll get more into after the bug of some majors go away and stuff. But there's no better way to see a town, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you can travel, you can take your Uber or drive your car, but something about cycling, running through a town early
Yeah,
morning or
man.
something, it's just amazing, man. It's one of the best feelings out there.
Yeah. And nowadays, I like at the beginning of the year, I think about the traveling that I want to do, but everything revolves around either a race or an event that I
Yep.
want to attend. So,
Well, let's get into that. Where do you want to travel to? I'll share some of mine, and I'll let you go first.
okay. So right now, Mexico, I'm doing Cozumel, the first time. So I've done two half Ironman. The first one was here in Orlando, and then the second one was in Colombia. So this will be the first time I do it in Mexico. So that's the first thing. And then after that, I don't know. I there are a lot of big races, cycling races, not races, but let's call it events that I want to attend to in the future. But right now, I don't have anything in the funnel. I guess when something pops up, especially with cycling, I reach out to my friends like, "Hey, is this interesting?" And then we coordinate and then just go.
Yeah. Nah, for me, I'll say, man, I sent you one literally the other day. Even before I sent it to you, that's
The
always been on
Switzerland
my
one.
list. Switzerland, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing.
And that one, I want to do more cycling. Yeah. Those views are just, oh my God, amazing. I've had Switzerland on my list for a long time just for travel's sake, but the thought of cycling through some of these like mountains, man, you can't
Man,
run those, obviously.
yeah,
So
yeah,
either get a bike, rent a bike or something, and just, I would say even better with friends or a crew because it's more fun, obviously.
yeah, of course.
That's one. From a running standpoint, just trips in general. Let's see. went to Tokyo earlier this year, or
Yeah,
Japan in
I
general.
know
I
that.
want to do the marathon. Funny, right before we hopped on, an email came to me that they're expanding the field for next year. So we'll see what happens in
Ah,
the lottery.
gotcha. Okay. And
Trying to think.
to me, I mean, you have the big unicorns, right? And I guess that's always the goal for some people is maybe the one, two, three,
Yeah,
four. I don't know. Um, and and that's something that I've been thinking about. Of course, like most of my friends, and my running friends, they're doing marathons, and
yeah.
to me, it's just okay. Do I want to do a marathon? Do I want to do a half Ironman? And I guess that's on the wish list to complete a marathon maybe someday. To me, the training part is it takes a mental toll. It's different because when you're training for three sports, is it's different. When you're training only running, I guess that's the reason why I haven't signed up yet. Is I think
Yeah.
it's like a mental challenge to just concentrate on one sport, and I mean to me it's amazing.
I mean, you get a lot of variety on your end with the Ironman, half Ironmans, and just triathlon in general, which of course makes it fun. It's funny because on the runner side, we thinking the opposite. Like, oh my god, I need to do 15 hours a week,
Yeah,
and like, how can I go from this pool to the outdoors to the bike?
yeah,
you know. But
yeah.
I do get the
It's
fun, and it's funny. We're on the same flip coin of it, where like at some point I do want to do a half Ironman, and we'll see. I don't
uh-huh.
want to jump the gun too much. Maybe a full, but we'll see. I got to get through a few marathons first.
Well, to me, the running part is the brutal part on a race because it's the last one and it's always hot. So if you're a strong runner, I think it's an advantage. Of course, the bike is really long and you need to get used to it and understand how nutrition works and hydration and when to do it. But to me, the running part is the one that always scares me because you're tired.
yeah.
You need
Oh
to
man.
run a half marathon. It's really hot. You're mentally everywhere. So that to me, that's the real race.
For me, is the swimming, man. I've
Yeah,
never been a good one, and then the thought of open water, like I wouldn't say
yeah.
it's a fear, but it's kind of like, man, you got to train for that.
And that's a conversation that I have with people when they tell me, hey, like explain what you're doing and why, what happened during. And I always think that the swim is the one that scares the people the most.
Yeah,
But I mean, when I signed up for my first race, I had no swimming experience at all. And then I
that's
just
wild.
sign up to it and say, I gotta learn. And then I just
Yeah,
signed up LA Fitness and started doing pulls. And it just kind of moved that boundary of that fear and push it and say, I mean,
yeah,
nothing's gonna happen to me, just do it. And that's how I like started swimming.
yeah. It makes total sense, man. The more you do it, the less you'll be afraid of it, and you just got that time under your belt. Um, on that note, you being like, would you say cycling is your strongest?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been doing it for so long that I feel it my strong discipline.
Got it. Okay. How do you balance? I'm curious as a triathlete. How do you balance the time? You often see triathletes. It's anywhere from 8 to
That
15,
so,
20 hours at the
yeah,
elite.
yeah. I mean, training takes a long time. It takes a lot every week, and as you start getting closer to the date, the days are longer, right? So, if I'm being honest, my weekends are around the training. So Saturdays are usually the long ride, so 3, 4 hours, and then Sunday is the long run, so usually 2 hours or something like that. And then during the week, I mean, right now I don't have a 9 to 5, so I have a lot of flexibility. So I
Yeah.
wake up early. I'm a morning person, so I wake up 6 a.m. and do the training. But when I was 9 to 5, 4 a.m., there is no choice. So
Yeah.
either 4 a.m. and sometimes you have a break, so you have to cycle and then run. So it takes what, 3 hours? So 4:30 you wake up and then just gotta do it.
That's when I hear 3 hours, I'm thinking like, man, that's a marathon time, and then I'm thinking of all the food and fluids I need just to
Yeah,
keep going out there. Running, I guess for me, because I run more shore, but like when you're on a bike to then jump on put your shoes on,
yeah,
I guess,
yeah. And
how do
it's
you deal
just
with, and then you got
no,
Florida.
yeah, but it's just learning to run entire legs, pretty much. Your legs are gonna be tired, and then just teaching your body to make that transition, and it takes your body to learn that, because mentally is like, okay, I'm done with the bike, I'm done for the day, and then you put on your shoes and start running. So like the first 5 minutes, your body's like, what the hell's going on? But it's just, just do it all over again, and your body will just accommodate to that. And the beautiful thing is that you have muscle memory. So once you do it long enough, your body will just learn how to accommodate to that. Um, and what helps me is just do a lot of transitions. So let's say
Okay,
you ride for an hour and then you run for 20 minutes. That's all you need in order to get moving, in order to start learning that transition. So of
got
course
it. Okay,
the long training is 3 hours, 4 hours, but you start small, like everything. So and
yeah,
for
for
your
sure.
legs to understand what's going on.
I'm curious because as you say this, I think of ultra runners now for some reason.
Uh-huh.
Because ultra runners, they'll go out. Tired legs is the name of the game. They'll go run a weekend. Saturday, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go for 3 hours, and then you know what? Sunday now I'm gonna go for 2.5, right? And it's just
Yeah.
it sounds gruesome, but it's like running on tired legs because in
Yeah.
ultra you're
Okay.
gonna run 5, 6, or even longer,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds similar. And it's actually probably maybe more painful because at least cycling is less
You
impact than running,
change. And it's different
and
muscles.
you get the chance. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
different muscles.
Leading up to a race, I wanted to ask you is what's a because I'm not too familiar with it, and for those listening who might be fellow triathletes or cycle and run, I've had a few people on that do both. Funny enough, so feel this will be
Mm-hmm.
helpful. What's tapering like for say a half Ironman? Like your last few weeks, do you guys taper? Do you take a break?
Yeah. Yeah. It's very similar because I've trained for not a marathon but half marathon, and I'll take it kind of the same that you built up until pretty
Got it.
much the last week, and then after that you just taper. You need to still move, so you go for an easy run. Uh, well, I remember the last training that I did, the block was like easy run for an hour. I was like, okay, damn, that's a long run, but just very easy. But
Gotcha.
it's just 1 week.
1 week. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. 1 week. Yeah. In running, you hear 2 weeks. Some people do 10 days. Elites kind of do like, depending who, 10, 9 days, that kind of stuff. But
Hmm.
I think most people end up doing 2, 3. Um, but it is important, I'm sure, to keep the body moving given the three
Yeah.
disciplines and whatnot.
The thing is, it's with, let's say, with riding, most of the ride is zone two, so you're not pushing your
Okay.
body to the limit, right? So that's why you don't need longer than that. As long as your latest ones are, let's say, long, but just zone two, you'll recover well.
That makes more sense. Yeah. 100%. Got it. You've been doing this a while. I want to ask now, since we're talking about zone two, what's your training philosophy style like? And what I mean by that
So
is
yeah,
some
so I've when I started, I did a lot of reading and I found this. I don't know if it's a company or just a way of training, but they have a lot of literature. It's called 80/20, and then it's like
okay, okay,
80% of your training is in zone two, and then 20% is high intensity. And I followed that way of training, and they focused a lot on recovery. So if you look at my Strava, most of my runs are really slow, but I try to keep my heart rate below 145, 150,
okay.
and it worked. I like it. At first, it's not fun. Let's call it fun because you are out there, you want to push yourself, and then you want to say, my workout today was amazing. But then if
Yeah,
you run for 2 hours in zone two, sometimes it gets to you like, okay, this is let's call it boring, but you get used to it. You get used to it, and I like it.
nice. Okay, yeah. That's similar to when we train smart in running. Where you take it easy and absorb the body. Essentially, in that case, do you just go hard on race day? You leave up the hard efforts to race day?
Yeah. Rest day, I don't look at my watch. Of course, I'm
Oh,
looking
snap.
at,
Okay.
of course, I'm looking sometimes like, okay, hold on, let me check. 150, I'm good. But not even on the bike, I don't look for watts. It's just feeling pretty much. And that's something
That's
that
really
I've
cool.
been doing for a year, is sometimes I just go for a run, let's say, without my watch and just go by feeling because and sometimes because sometimes you put boundaries to yourself like, oh, I'm too high in my heart rate, or oh, tomorrow I have sometime. I mean, I've been doing it for a couple times, is just go out and just see how you feel, and I like it.
No, I mean, yeah, I think we put in all spaces of endurance, especially nowadays, we put a little bit too much emphasis on the data.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, 100%, I agree with that. And there is so much literature, so much research papers that you got to do this way and then recover X amount of hours, and you got to put zone two, zone three. Is I understand the logic behind it, but on my level, which is a hobby, I'm not a prof. I just do it for fun, right? Of course, I want to get
yeah,
better, but sometimes you just gotta go for what you said, like a coffee ride or something like that, and have fun and
yeah,
not look at the watts, not look at the pace, and not look at your heart rate, but just be outside. And sometimes you do better because you're not paying attention to those metrics. So I think it's an interesting way to look at training. So to me, a combination of, let's call it have a fun or just be out there, and then putting the work, following your workouts. I think it has to be a combination to it.
agreed, agreed. Yeah. Okay. On that note, I want to ask you, how did you get into the world of all half
Well,
Ironman, cycling, swimming?
it's it's a good question. So I've been cycling for, I told you, more than 10 years. My dad
Hmm.
rides. He rides a bike. So, and
That's
he
awesome.
likes the sport. So I'm a fan of the sport. I'm the guy that watch the stage that lasts like 4 hours, and I'm just sitting there and I know the guys and the drama and everything. So I'm a huge fan of the sport. And then during COVID, everything closed, but I mean, everything closed. We're just at home. I'm going insane at home. And then I was like, let me go for a run. No, not even a run. Let me go for a walk. And then I started walking just because I wanted to be outside. And then from walking, it turned into running. And then from running, it turned into signing up for half marathon. When I did that and completed that race, a good friend of mine called me. He told me like, dude, you already have the bike, you already have the experience. Now you're running. Just start swimming, and we'll do a half Ironman. And of course, I was like, no, I don't want to do it. It's just too much training. But it was COVID time, so I had time, and I was like, okay, let me try it out, and that's how everything started.
That's cool. So COVID started, that's how I started
Yeah.
running too. And a lot of people, I'm sure, on both
Yes,
spectrums
and I
of,
guess COVID was an interesting time where you had, because I have friends that they play video games, watch TV, studied, and make a new career out of it. I started running. So it was an important time for you to, you have your own time. Let's see what you do with your time. Because I also have people, the friends
yeah,
that started drinking, and they were drinking all day.
yeah,
So it was just a decision of, okay, what I want to do. I mean, I have time in my hands. What's worth me putting time into? And to me, it was running because I've never tried running before. I mean, I run 2 miles, 3 miles, and something like that, but never serious. I mean, to me, running 6 miles was something insane.
and here we were talking about future marathons.
Yeah,
Just 20 more, no big deal.
just 20 more, and that's it. Yeah.
Is there anyone, since you do watch all the like the events, the stages, the
Uh-huh.
Ironman, the championships, is there anyone, sounds like that may be one of them, but like some people that inspire you in the sport, like some of your favorites?
So that is number one, and it's interesting because he tried to push the sport to me when I was younger.
Hmm.
And I was like, I don't like this because I'm from Colombia. Everyone in
Hmm.
Colombia plays soccer. That's my sport.
Yep.
Like that's the sport that I played since I was a kid until 30. So he tried to get me into cycling and I refused it. I was like, no, this is boring. Because soccer is you play soccer with your friends. Um,
Yeah.
and then he kept insisting, like, hey, just try it out. And then finally I decided, okay, let me try it out. And since that moment, I've been hooked. So I think he's number one inspiration for cycling.
That's really cool, man. And it must have, well, maybe not when you were younger, but now in retrospect, must be dope. Hey, dad
Yeah,
pushed me into the sport, and now I love this.
yeah, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Well, getting into that, I want to talk about, the brand. You founded a
Yeah,
sock company, right? I'll let you talk about
yes.
it, but that was interesting when you let us know. And you've been doing amazing things here, and we'll get into it and share with the brand that's been taking off.
Yeah, so that's a new project that I've been working on. It started as a hobby or something that I wanted to have as a passive income. And as I mentioned earlier, we had so many conversations during coffee rides or after ride with my friends, and we're talking about technology and garment or the clothing that we use. And I mean, that's the best research that you can do is talk to people and understand what they like, what they don't like, what's a pain point. And then I think it just became something organic to find the socks because the socks is something that may some people might overlook, like they don't pay attention to it.
Hmm.
But then you find on the market $5 socks and then $30 socks. So it has to be something there. And I think we found a
Yeah.
pain point where there isn't so much value versus the price that you pay. So you either have $30 socks that are amazing, or you have
Hmm.
cheap socks that they don't deliver the value. So I think I tried them all. My research
Yeah.
was to try them all and start working on. I like this feature about this sock, but I don't like this, and just start building your design around your preference, but also doing a lot of research and as I mentioned, gather feedback from other writers. So this company, I have it with two partners, and it took us I mean, solid 6 months to get to the final design that we wanted to do. And then from
Hmm.
there, it was just trying to understand where to sell it, who to sell it, what price level, find a vendor or manufacturer that will provide the stock that we want. So it takes forever in so many steps for you to complete from your idea and the first conversation until you have your product in your hand. So we sell online mostly, like 90% of our
Hmm.
sales are online, but we're getting involved locally with the writers here in South
Yep.
Florida. It's been a great experience. We've learned a lot. We've made a lot of mistakes, of course, as a new brand, but we take it as a learning process, and we are very excited to keep participating in local events and getting to know new people.
Yeah, man, it's been for what it's worth, it's been amazing to see, and I'm happy for you, man. Success. I remember when
Thank
you
you.
first launched it, and then I don't feel like it's been that long for you. It probably feels forever because you're in it
Yeah,
every day, and it's a business, and it's ever evolving.
yeah.
But like you've done amazing things so far, man. And talking about that, I want to talk about some more being involved in the community. I believe you guys hosted recently like a race event, Weston, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah. So
Um,
Weston is a city in South Florida where cycling is there is a lot of cycling presence, and we sponsored. It wasn't our race, but we sponsored a local club that was organizing a race, not even a race, an event. So we heavily participated in it as a sponsor, and the feedback from everyone was amazing for our socks. Because that's the thing, when you get positive feedback and you know that your product is good, you feel motivated to just keep pushing your brand and be part of something local. So it was amazing. The event was in May, and we had great feedback from everyone.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see everyone had like jerseys and seeing the socks and
Yeah,
some of the content you guys put out there was really cool.
yeah,
I love
and
the
and
music.
we
I don't know where you guys getting your music, but I love the music.
and we had people working on pictures, and we have drones. So we organized a very good event, and it was amazing.
Nice. What sort of other events I want to ask you have you guys partaken in? I think I might have seen a few on like the page presence on social media.
Yeah. So we partner with a bike shop in South Florida, and they attend different events throughout the country. So we were, oh, I mean, they had presence in Gravel Locos and also Unbound, which is a very big gravel event, is the biggest in the US. So we were there.
Hmm.
And then the next one will be in Atlanta, well, close to Atlanta, an event called Six Caps. So
Okay.
again, we partner with the bike shop, and then we'll be there.
That's amazing, man. That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
actually even know Unbound.
Okay, there you
Uh,
go.
so congratulations on that, man. That's
Thank you.
dope. What kind of lessons have you learned? I guess you said there was some ups and downs, with
Oh,
the
man.
company. What have you
S-
learned that you can share?
Yes, so many things. I don't know if you remember, but we started with a different name, and then we
Yeah.
had to make that change. So the reason why we changed the name is some illegal issues with the name. When we
Hmm.
put on our trademark, there was a conflict, a conflicting company with that name. And from a marketing standpoint, is as I mentioned, we know that we have a great product, but now our job is to get my socks into your door, and that is very expensive as a new brand. So everything is a learning
Hmm.
experience, from how to work with the big platforms, the e-commerce platforms like eBay, Amazon, TikTok, not TikTok, I'm sorry, and social media like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. So it is a learning process. And then, of course, you can hire people to do that for you, but you still need to know the basis of it.
Yeah.
So, and to me, everything is new. From an e-commerce standpoint, is I understand the data analytics of it, but also the social media part for me is challenging. So it is expensive, it is challenging, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're going to be learning a lot of ins and outs. Maybe as you guys grow, maybe someone else takes it on, but you'll know what's going on, and
Exactly.
there's some
And
value and
that's
importance.
That's the important part of it, because you can hire someone to do the social media part, but at the end of the day, it's your company, is your product. They don't care about the sales. I'm the one that cares about the sales.
Yeah.
So I need to understand how segmentation, customer segmentation, and then who are we aiming to. So we need to understand how they do it, or in order for us to have better ads. So it is a learning process, from accounting, sales, marketing, inventory, negotiation with vendors. So a lot of moving parts at the same time, but it's been a great ride.
Nice. I want to ask you on a reflection side, a few years ago, you were probably doing one of your first half Ironmans and now you got the company. Did you think
Uh-huh.
you'd be here?
No, well, let's say I've been doing so. 2 years ago, I decided to put a stop into my 9 to 5 career. I was a product manager in a tech company. And then at some point, I decided, well, let me put a stop, because I'm learning a lot. I'm happy, but I just felt that I needed a stop, and take, let's call it, sabbatical time, to think about
Yeah.
what I want to do. Am I happy? And then after that, we the project came along, and then right now I'm doing consulting for small companies, on data
Mhm.
analytics, which is what I used to do as a PM. So if you asked me 3 years ago, no, it is a completely different scenario that I expected. But I am happy, because I'm still doing what I want, which is riding a bike and going for a run. And then I turn my hobby, or some side project, into something that we have expectations to be a big brand as far as cycling goes. Um, so yeah, no, completely different scenario from 5 years ago until now, but I'm happy where I am right now.
Yeah, man. The sport, I'll just chalk it up to endurance sports is amazing, man. I've said this even when I first started, whether it be cycling, mountain biking, gravel. Now that I'm in Colorado, I'll throw skiing in there, running.
Yeah.
Like the people in this space, whether you're a hobbyist, you're trying to pursue something big, whether you're starting a company, it's something about like we find joy in this crazy thing world of ours, putting in pain and work, but it's like we for some reason always find the happiness, and even if you're still working a regular job, there's a happiness and joy to this that comes from it. So it's amazing, man. Amazing to see your company growing.
And now that you bring that up, is you seen that meme where it says, "And you're paying for that? You're paying to suffer 4 hours, 5 hours?" Yes. At the end of the day, we are
Yeah,
all
pretty
doing
much.
that, and you start enjoying it. It becomes something that it needs to be present in your life. And when I say that is when you start like doing exercise, let's say running or cycling, and you accomplish those goals that seem impossible at some point. It's like a person that starts running today and then completes a marathon in 2 years. If you take that to your professional life, it's like, why can't you accomplish? Like, if you put your mind to it, you will be able to accomplish whatever you want.
No, agreed, man. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to walk in the office the next day for you after a half Ironman. Like, yeah, I
Oh yeah.
just
And
swam, cycled.
yeah, and everyone knew about the race. So everyone is asking about the
Yeah.
race, and that it's amazing.
What's next for you that you can share? If you can't, that's okay. What's next for you on the company brand side? You shared the race, you got the race coming up for Mexico. What's on the company and brand side?
So from a brand standpoint, it's just become known locally as a brand that it provides value against the price that you pay, and then be present at more events. So that's the part I want to push for this year, the rest of this year, and the coming year is to be present on events and enjoy the ride pretty much. I mean, you get to know so many people with this project that, and it's people like you that started, and everyone has a different story. So getting to know who is going to use your socks is it's amazing.
Yeah. On that point, I do want to, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't want to misspeak,
Uh-huh.
Ricardo. It's not just cycling. Runners can use this too, correct?
Yeah, yes. We
Okay.
tried during research, we tried running, cycling, CrossFit, gym. We concentrated in cycling to start, and we want to aim for that. But yeah, it's you can use it to pretty much any sport that you want. I train my runs with the socks, and to my friends, I mean, I think you have some, and I've never received any bad feedback from a running standpoint. So yeah, of course you can use them.
I did. Actually, I want to say most of my training for my last marathon in them,
Huh?
which was really nice because like the bottom part was very thin and it was midsummer, and I was just like, yes.
Yeah, yeah, and
uh,
we aim for that summer training. We aim for that, so it's good. And I think one of my friends did a half marathon in them, and he said they're amazing.
no, it's been great. I want to pivot and ask you, like, you started a brand both on the running, cycling. Well, let's just chalk it up to endurance, but also on a brand standpoint. Like, let's say someone's new and getting into the sport or wants to get into the sport or start a new brand company. What tips and advice would you share for them to maybe some of your learning points to share so they don't repeat?
Yeah, I think one of the advantages that we have, me and my partners, is that we rode bikes for 10 years before coming up with the brand. So we knew about everything about the sport, everything about the
Yeah, you
socks.
lived it.
So yeah, and I use them. I use them on every ride. I use them on every single run. So I guess it's just get to know who your customers are going to be or who your audience is going to be. That's key. Because you might have a great idea, but if people are not going to use it or use your product, you have nothing. So it is, and I think that's the most important thing is who's going to be your customer, and then what benefits does your product have against what they're already using right now. So it could be a feature, it could be price, it could be how you get them. I mean, there's so many things that you can think of to have an advantage over other products, but you need to understand your feature and benefits and your customer base.
That's dope. Well said. What about on the getting into the sport side? Just from a
Getting
fitness
into the
standpoint.
sports side, let's see. If it is cycling, I think one of the things that people think is bikes are very expensive. And it's just,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to spend $5,000 on a bike. It's not worth it. And I agree, and especially if you're starting and you don't know if you're gonna like it or not, because you might spend five thousand
Hmm.
dollars, use it four times. It's like I don't like this, but don't let that be a just. I mean, like a barrier to you. You can get used bikes on Facebook Marketplace or just go to a bike shop. I mean, there are so many choices that you can have, and you don't need to start with a high-end brand. Just start with something cheap or small if you don't have the budget and just start writing. But if you think about it too long, you're not gonna do it. So you don't need to spend big brands to like big bucks to start. And find a group ride. Like find a local group because they will teach you the rules of the road. Don't do it by yourself at first. Be with someone and they will teach you the rules of the road.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I remember the first time I got a bike, like a more serious bike. I hit you up actually, and my fear was
Yeah.
falling off of it.
Oh,
The clip pedals and whatnot.
yeah.
And it happened
Yeah.
on the first day.
Yeah, and even a
But
flat tire, if you have a flat tire, you don't know how to change it, you're stuck. So yeah,
yeah,
at first, if you don't know the rules of of the road, or you don't know the mechanical side of a bike, just be with someone.
yeah, I think that's great sound advice. Luckily, I mean, not luckily, I didn't have that luxury, is what I was trying to say. But I
Yeah,
didn't get a flat tire. I just fell off a couple times. I think after the third time, I was like, "Oh, this is not that bad," and then I didn't really fall
yeah,
off much after that. So,
yeah.
uh, no, that's dope. Well, on that note, this has been the People Run Podcast, everyone. Thanks, Ricardo, for hopping on.
All right,
Uh,
Fitz. Thank
love
you for the
seeing the
invite.
success, both, of course, man. Love seeing the success with Lite Socks. I'll put something in the description so everyone can check it out. Looking forward to seeing how you do here in Mexico and, well, the
All
training because
right.
we're in midsummer right now.
Yeah.
uh, this has been the People Run Podcast, everyone. Check us out Spotify, Apple, YouTube, the People Run Podcast. Until next time.
All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.